So, when I said that... Oh, hold on, is the mic even working? Yeah, the mic's working. So, when I said that spoilers begin almost immediately, I meant it. This is the only part of the stream that is spoiler-free. Because you don't have context for it. Whoa, audio, why the fudge? You sound like I'm going through something. Is it because I screwed up the headphone jack? Let me just try to re-wiggle things in. So yeah, double checking, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, volume is very high, let's slow that. Cool. So yeah, I was dumb, and last night was playing through the story, thinking, oh, it's just a little bit, I'll get through a little bit and then I'll stop. It was a cutscene up until the very end, so I only got to this point, so now we're actually listening to plot. And I'm going to set it to auto because we've got way more cutscene ahead.
Sorry.
Which,
that shocked expression on your face
yeah,
is just too
story-wise, spoiling it right now,
myself.
we fulfilled the prophecy.
You are not Farina.
But the prophecy
Who
isn't
are you?
exactly what it seems. Because we saw the images, and what we see could be interpreted differently. So even though the prophecy was foretold, it wasn't what you thought. Because 4 effing pictures don't mean jack. Like how a tarot reading, having 1 card doesn't mean anything.
Why did you deceive us?
So, yeah, my goal, of course.
That's how we got to this point.
No.
In the meantime, I am playing Ever Crisis
if I was to stand any chance
on my phone,
deceiving
because it's a crossover event with Final Fantasy IX. And yes, I am talking over everything, because I've seen this cutscene before.
It's all because of that
and
pernicious prophecy.
If you're watching this, you should already have seen the title, seen the description, seen the comments,
One was not
and listened to me talk.
In fact, one
this
was
is
bemused
Spoiler Town.
when that problem was
Also,
thrust upon me by
she
my
is
dearest
flat.
predecessor. That's
As
the
in,
former Hydro Archon,
there is
Egeria,
nothing.
for the uninitiated.
Literally nothing. It is a
gets more
ribcage.
disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe. Now does it?
So yeah,
She
the
knew
current
full well
story,
that the prophecy would surely
we're
come
going
pass.
to... It turns out,
And as one of the 7,
the
she
Farina
also
we
knew
knew
full well
wasn't
that
the Archon.
one
It was a
defies the
fake
heavenly
human made
principles
by
at one's peril.
Vocalaws
So
to
yes,
defy
as
the
you have
heavenly
no doubt
principles or
surmised,
something.
it was a rather
And the plot twist?
impossible situation that I
Everyone in
found myself
Fontaine is
I
one of
spent
those
a terribly long
water
time
creatures
mulling it over,
that we have had
alone on
3
the
events
ocean
back to
floor.
back,
And
telling
I
us
was
from
almost throwing
Sumeru
barnacles by
that
the
these
time I
creatures
finally
can look human,
realized
so it's
there
not
was
too
only
much of a
one
stretch to say
possible
they can
solution
become
to
human.
this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow
So,
the
yeah,
prophecy to be fulfilled,
that's where we are right now.
ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back
The
now,
only question
it
is,
was hardly the inheritance
so the
one
reason we had
dreams
to outwit
of.
the heavenly principles
Between the
was
task
because
of
this is a
saving
prophecy
the
made by
nation,
them,
the quotidian
so
duties
she
of the
just
Hydro Archon,
made the thing
and
go in
not
her
to
direction,
mention the original sin of creating a new
which
race of humans.
doesn't make
I
much
dare
sense,
say
but
she left
okay.
me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But
So yeah,
one
this
can
is
only play
all
the
going to be
hand
story.
one is dealt. I did not
All
choose this,
story.
any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to
Also,
be part
that
of the
sword
greatest
is a
opera
massive
ever
reference
known.
to something called
After
Damocles'
becoming
sword.
a god,
Quite
I
literally,
separated my
death
divinity
is
from
hanging
my
above
body
you,
and spirit,
and because you're in
leaving
such a
behind
powerful
only
position.
a self that was as
And
naive
in this
and
case,
bewildered
Farina
as my
is
past
being
self on
executed.
her first day
So
as
this
a
is
human
all
being.
happening within a
The
millisecond.
me you see before you now is that divinity.
Also, fun
And
fact,
the human
if you
counterpart
actually
I left
leave this
behind,
cutscene and rejoin it,
I named
you appear
Farina.
with the trigger of the cutscene still there. Technically, you are like in a point of time where it
she could
shouldn't
be as
exist
vain and
because
conceited,
everything happened
or
in like
as meek and vulnerable
1 millisecond.
as
But
she wished.
you've just done
Her
it.
strengths
You
were of
just
a
walk
kind
forward,
only a
cutscene
human
triggers.
could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect.
But yeah, this is.
She was
How
perfectly human.
What do I
in
think of the
every
event
way.
so far?
The person I always
I like
wanted to
Focalors
be.
more than I like Farina.
Anyway,
I
so
think
then
Farina
cursed
is a
her.
bit of a bitch.
All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon, alone, weeping on her throne.
It wasn't her throne, it was
In
her
order that
fucking
the
chair.
prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under
Yeah,
the curse
because
I
the
placed
prophecy,
on her,
you're just
so long
making
as
parts
I,
appear when they shouldn't appear.
Focalors' divinity,
Changing things.
continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the
Okay.
god
So
from the
Evercrisis,
prophecy.
its events are
All to
happening
create
throughout
a
time.
deceitful
That's
appearance
really
of that
interesting. I am not
prophecy
paying
coming
attention to
to
the cutscenes because
pass.
I've seen this already.
I suppose
Again.
now you probably understand why your
So,
court is called the
Tifa's been
Opera
summoned.
Epiclese.
The people from
Farina
First Soldier
is
were
only
summoned.
human,
Now Cloud and
isn't
Aerith
she?
being summoned from a
Even though
similar
she has had a
time.
long life, her mind
This is
is
really
no
why I
stronger
like
than
this,
that
because
of any
time
other
and space.
ordinary
It's
human
clear
being.
that time and space
I
mean
cannot
nothing.
begin to fathom what she
Anything
has
can
had to
happen.
endure.
Anything.
It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed.
So you
And
could have Cloud
although
meet
she
with Sephiroth.
is, in a
Sephiroth
sense,
had no
me in
fudging
human
clue what's
form,
going on.
I
Oh,
most
that's
definitely owe her an apology
I
for
like
it.
that. I like that. Oh,
It's
that's cute.
been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
And now we're at the part of the cutscene where I haven't seen anything yet. I came into contact with Farina's tears. If I remember correctly, tears often contain being strongest emotions. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I could form an emotional connection just like I did with the Oceanid in the Fountain of Lucine. Wait, could this be Farina's inner world? Farina, what is she doing on stage? Wait a moment, that probably isn't Farina. That's most likely a reflection of her inner self. If I can directly speak to that self, I might be able to easily get what I wanted to know. I came here for answers either way. This opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talking to her.
Let's play!
I know I could jump, but nope. Actually, I want to see. How far can I get before the game tells me no? Can I actually just run around? Okay, the walls aren't solid or climbable. That's not actual terrain. Oh, they blocked this off. They blocked that off. Oh, how fucking... Oh no, that's all blocked off. Damn it! Thought of everything. Damn it! Oh, oh, that's a shame. I mean, that's good attention to detail, but I guess they don't want you to like no clip or something.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules.
Farina?
All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you.
Don't look at me, don't look
There is no
at me.
need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do
Just
not
let the
jest.
stage lights go off,
Can you not
please,
feel
if only
it?
for 1 second. Ooh, so it's telling us what she's feeling. That is a
I am
nice use of
Uthilor.
UI.
The eyes of
That way I can
countless
become myself
Fontanians
again.
are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility.
That is great use of a notification system. That is spooky, but I love it. Something's off. There's no getting through to her. Even in her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role of Hydra Archon. What sort of resolve must she have that even her inner self and subconscious would have an impenetrable defense? I have to find a way. Turn off the spotlights. May the spotlights be off.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty,
Ooh.
but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
So she is just in a permanent performance, and to act okay. I
Time
like
for
this.
takeoff.
I really like
Brace
this.
yourselves.
Torn to oblivion.
Because we are helping her in a. Because if we don't do this, well, she's just gonna keep that up. Because all lights are on her, eyes are on her. As long as she's in play,
Hey,
that's
what
it.
gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
I've not finished my
Fudge!
research.
I don't have a healer either, so I have to play this really carefully. Thematically, I love this.
Fine, fine, boom!
Also, probably just to mention, I can't see chat, so this is
There is
my
no escape.
purest reaction.
Think you can get away?
Check your close.
Yahoo!
Inazuma shines eternal. Shine
Does
down.
her posture change as I turn off more lights? Something's off. There's no getting through to her. Even in her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role of the Hydra Archon. Okay. So while the lights are on her, she's the Hydra Archon. So if we turn off the lights, the performance ends. Speaking of which, I think I just received sort of signal. Was that her true voice? A ticket? When did that end up here? Oh no, we're going Star Rail! Oh no, it's almost exactly like Star Rail tickets. Either way, it looks like the show is about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Farina. Scene 1, before a mirror, Farina. I can't pause, can't attack, can't run, I can only walk. Can't even jump. God, they really locked down this one scene so you wouldn't blooming mess about.
Farina. Farina.
Ooh.
Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not
Be
afraid.
not afraid.
I am before you.
Ooh.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How can this be?
I'm so ugly. I shouldn't be looking at a mirror before it breaks.
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Mirror me. What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What
Every
prophecy?
freaking day.
Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's.
Yeah. And
in my
notice
head
how
somehow.
she's not being
will
performative.
all be
She is a
dissolved
shy
into the
little girl.
waters,
Because that is
and
exactly
only
what
the
she is.
Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh,
Ooh.
very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure
Oh, this is when
this
she first
prophecy.
became the Archon.
Will it really come to pass?
Ooh.
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Yes, you will.
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today.
Also, I like how we went
I
from
will tell you
Mirror
how
Me
to
to
save
Pass in the Mirror,
everyone,
even though we know
but
exactly who this is.
you may have to suffer somewhat.
So, okay.
Oh,
You may have to somewhat suffer
so there's
for
still
hundreds
hope
of
after
years.
all.
Nothing bad, I
Goodness,
assure
you
you.
frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
The people.
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Ooh.
Play as a god?
That's right.
I
You
really
must
like
begin a
the more
never-ending
down-to-earth
masquerade.
Verena.
You must never let anyone
I
suspect
know it's so
your
low beat
identity.
and just generally
If
not
you
what the
can
character
keep
is,
it up,
but I
then
really
I
do
shall
like
have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be.
it. Ooh.
Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how
mean,
long
that
am I
is a
going
lot
to have
of-
to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends.
How do you do
But
that?
I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial.
Yep.
And everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll
Ooh,
be
she is
looking
going to
forward to
regret
it.
those words in a few hundred years. Scene 2, a session speech. Verena. I want to see how this goes. So I should probably mute my phone. A part of me really wants to stay quiet. Another part of me wants to talk because I know I have to talk, but the cutscenes, I just want to listen to them. 'Cause they're really well done, and it's just a calm part of the scene. It's just calm part where you've got to listen to the plot.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god?
Ooh.
To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of
Oh, we are
Archon.
directing how she does
Indeed,
things.
I am Verena de Fontaine, your new Archon.
Ooh, appear
In
earnest.
truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice.
Okay, so it's better than I, where she just says, I'm going to take everything from
Once
you.
again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all.
Okay.
This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Ooh.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person?
So this is where we get her show votiness.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Ooh.
What's going on? Why is everyone right? Mirmi said that I just need to play calm down, Verena. Think.
Yeah, she tried to play it too
What
polite.
do the people want?
So now she has
How
to
are
ham
they
it up a
assertive,
little bit.
With a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play.
Come on, give me the choice.
Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them?
That is a very excellent
Well,
recovery.
It seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house.
Yeah,
You may
that
consider
was a
my
fantastic
previous act
recovery.
a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera
Smart.
house?
Very smart.
Melody. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a
Oh, well.
fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems
Yeah.
I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech.
Resolutely, with conviction.
My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not,
If you do
whether
summon
you
courage,
trust me
you're just gonna
or
falter
nay,
back to like,
I
oh, I'm
say
shy
to
and
you,
nervous.
keep faith in your ardor for justice.
So you've got
We
to
have
ham it
heard
up.
said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed
Turn
away.
up the drama,
Well,
even then.
I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its god. On one side, it must carry fairness
So this is
and
just how she's
justice.
behaved, and this explains
And
her
on the other,
behavior.
Praise and applause.
Whenever she's being looked at,
May
she has to ham it
law
up.
Be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine.
May the blood of our enemies stain our tongue!
There
Oh god.
is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve.
I would like it if you could redo
All
this
that
scene.
is needed is for
And
you,
maybe have, like,
my people, to
have to
believe
like
in it,
change it up a
heart
little bit.
and
So you have
soul.
like your
So
earnest,
long
you
as
have
I,
your turning up the drama,
Archon
and you have your
Foesalor, stand within the
psychotic
Alpha
mode
Epiclese.
where you like
So
play
long
it
as
too
I
hard. It's like,
stand
oops, I should
before
probably
the
tone it down a
arteries,
little bit, but
I
not
shall
too
even
much.
judge the gods of this world.
Yeah. So that does explain why I'm not a fan of the over the top, because it is quite literally the only way she can pose as a god is by being over the top in talk, not like action. If she actually did action, that was insane. Can I go back to bed? 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 I can't. I've got... Okay, I've got to follow the lights.
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Okay.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
Ooh.
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand?
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright.
She
Do not
just
take
wants
what I
the
said
end
before
of the
too
role.
seriously.
She finds it a nightmare.
Go now. Do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
A little bit of sorrow at the end, because she knows that it's going to happen, but until then she has to kind of suffer.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not?
Alright.
Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. Alright, Deoteria, is
I'm
it?
surprised she
How
hasn't
is your
actually
son's illness?
truly developed an ego.
Remember
Normally
me,
when people
and you
start
knew of my
acting
family too.
in that manner,
He
they
is
begin
doing
like
much
going
better now.
actually
In
insane.
fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience
But
with
she
you,
knows deep
and
down
to
that
bring your words back to
she's
me.
just gonna kind of
Oh,
go with the
good.
blow the punches,
Very
go the
good.
roll,
If
and
this
eventually
should happen
it
again in
will
the future,
end.
please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
Ah, you're such a gentle and wise God. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Right, so that's how she is with meeting people. So she's not over the top and like bitchy all the time. She does know how to do different performances, but when she's in front of a massive crowd, she knows to ham it up tremendously. And
Lady
this is her
Farina,
researching the curse.
here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it.
She's
All
bullshitting.
manner of signs
Fantastic
indicate that the
bullshitting.
prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well,
Posing
as
as
I
if
understand
everything's
it,
completely under
the
control,
Fontaine Research
when
Institute
in
is also
reality,
trying to find a way to counter the
everything is
rising
not.
water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm
Ooh, she nearly broke character
afraid
for a
that they haven't found
millisecond.
any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
Are we back to bed? And that's just how the day goes. She gets up from bed, she does her work, she then meets with the people, she then does her research, and then the day ends. To loop again and again and again.
The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time, but it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion.
Good.
Maybe this is fine. I just need to keep going, and everyone will be saved.
And she's technically done all she needs to do.
Farina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
Scene 4, Opera House, Arena.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
Work?
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina, I've waited
Only
so
forever.
long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Same kind of spiel. We go to research.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute.
Then it's all back to
I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just
In Farina's defense,
don't know
she
when
is
these days
excellent at what she's
I
doing.
feel utterly
The only
exhausted.
issue is that she was tricked,
Best to
and
rest
she was
early
put into a
today,
literal impossible situation. Because she can only bullshit when she's not the suspect, and when she was the full suspect, that was it. She couldn't defend herself. Day after day after. Scene 182. That much. So it's
Lady
days.
Farina,
Scene is just a day.
It's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Dioteria, almost 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer. A descendant of
She's
a line
breaking,
most ardent.
starting to cry.
Surely you exaggerate.
Like, you can hear it in her
Lady
voice. She's reaching the end of her rope.
Farina. My lady?
Probably crying as well because she knows.
What is it, good citizen?
Are you crying?
Uh-huh. Really now?
There's 20 generations.
Didn't even
She
notice.
has met family
This
for
must
20
be the
generations.
overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
Yeah, this is her breaking point. I do feel for Farina.
So interminable.
Play on her own.
So
Great.
lonely.
Never ending.
Just
Hundreds of
much
thousands
longer.
of times. Over and
hundreds
over and
of
over
years
again.
must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. reached my limit. No. Perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far?
Yeah, and that's what she nearly did with the Traveler.
I've conducted so many
Because if she did that,
investigations across the centuries.
then the prophecy would have gone through as it went.
There's not even a sliver of hope that will
She
complete
is
the prophecy.
emotionally,
All
I
I
would
can
say,
do
probably
is
the
keep
strongest
on.
one. I went on a
must
bloody murder,
maintain
not
this
even
act.
murder. Basically, when
It's the
everyone
only
loses the
way
power,
to
they
save
don't even die.
Fontaine.
Youngly,
Please, mirror me.
kind of resolute and just step back from everything. And Benton, effectively, just a missing Archon. But she's been in play age. Opera House, Farina, and
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
that's my voice. This scene from where it was written from that giant magic box. Great. I didn't think that this scene would replay in an inner world. Surely I find what you
Share
want to tell me this
my
time.
burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
And this is where she's going to carry on.
If that's the case... She's right. I could confide in her, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the
And
ones
this
to
is
pay
her
the
confiding
price.
in you.
No,
This
Farina,
is all the
you
confiding
shouldn't be
she's doing.
selfish. But what if it's really all right? Farina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just this once. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows?
And
Surely
you technically
it
broke
could
that
not
when
hurt.
the box fell
If you
apart.
let this opportunity slip through your
She
fingers,
never could
it might
confide, and that's why
never
she was
come
crying.
by again.
It wasn't
Think
because she
about
was
it.
going to die.
Long
It was
and
because
hard.
she couldn't confide. That was it. She was stuck to her role. At the very end.
No,
Now,
I have nothing to say. I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better.
she was
All
never
you
going
need
to
to
tell you.
do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
And now we're directly back to the scene.
Fine.
And she lost that one. Well, not really, because we're seeing it right
So
now.
even Farina doesn't know
That's
the
what
truth.
would have happened.
You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did
Can I
very
just say,
well.
can this at
If
least
she
be a
had
skip?
let her
Also, I
resolve
like how there's a
falter even
censored
once
version
in these
of characters,
5
and
centuries,
yet you can see her
Fontaine
literal
would have been
chest and
doomed
stomach
to the
area.
most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
exactly.
Ah, good, good.
You
Of
might have,
course,
like,
the Udex of
changed
Fontaine
the
has
definition
pinpointed
of
the
the
crux
actual
of the
corruption.
issue.
Not
I'm
actually
sure you've
fixed
long
the issue.
sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth.
How?
In truth,
How can it have
it is no
sufficient depth?
enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
That's why that sword is still hanging overhead.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered?
So
My work
Farina
over
will
these
become
last
the
500
actual
years
Archon.
has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be, accumulated to enact this death sentence.
I also
It
won
was
that sword as
all
an actual
part of your plan, then? Both the trial and
mod
the
is probably
sentence?
already on it, but I really want
Indeed.
the cannon weapon.
This
Even
power,
a skin.
accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontanians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
all you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked.
I mean, yeah. If you had someone who followed you to the basically bitter end.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice,
is that what's going to happen?
I have always believed that justice lies
Are
in
all
the
the
process of
Archons
pursuing
going to just
human
renege their
existence
power?
itself. So, if the theft of the
No, if
primordial
the
sea's
Gnosis
might
has
was Fontaine's original
their
sin,
power,
then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontanians as humans and their right to exist in this world
is that
would be
what's
Fontaine's
happening? Are
original
all the Gnosis
justice.
being collected.
In other words,
So the Archons, the
existence
concept
was
of an Archon
Egeria's
has been destroyed.
justice. And to me,
In which
justice is
case,
the continuation
the
of
seven
that
principals
existence,
can't do anything
defying the
because they've lost
prophecy
their
and
foothold.
ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. That should be the justice enthroned over all others.
Is that what's actually been planned?
At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
That's the point. And that is fire.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
He sees the Archon for the first time, and it's for her death. And she goes out dancing. Bittersweet, I think is what it's. And down the Archon. You feel like it must be so... Oh... He gets his power back. He gets his full power. And her role is over. For all you've done from this moment on, please live happily as a human, just as I wish. But Brina lives on.
I, Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
I'm not sure if it's actually intended, but he was shaking as he was like actually just violently shaking, very slightly, but you could see it. It wasn't like he was just calmly breathing. That's a good detail. The instability of all that.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
Now it can.
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function,
it's true.
I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Ooh. Can't have an Archon quest without a big boss fight. I am still mad the first one had a bullshit mechanic which never returned. But ooh. Devouring narwhal.
We're going to execute it? But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already done my best to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from the way. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall
I can do this.
Together.
This is gonna take forever.
Shine down!
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Look how much health it has. Yeah, now it's fighting.
What a party time for takeoff.
Fire.
Here we go.
But it won't stay still for long.
Keep up.
Oh, I've got strength.
Can't see?
There is no escape!
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. The chance will present itself.
That's gonna be hard when I'm doing next to no damage. No, we need to do this. Ooh.
Why is there a hole sitting over there?
Ooh.
Scary!
I like this.
One thing after another.
Okay, for this, that music, falling. It's not a dramatic piece. It's a different genre entirely. It's like not I forget the name of the genre in question, but it's something you wouldn't expect. And what a perfect one it is.
Can't see? I hear everything!
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its roots from within.
Okay, how do I do this? I've got no healing.
Shine down!
I've got no healing. Actually, no healing. So I have to do this with healing item.
And shroud!
Think you can get away?
Use Pneuma of Oyster to interrupt the shadow.
Let's play!
But I don't have that.
Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish! Shine down!
Let's nip that in the bud.
that can't be the entire boss fight. If that is the entire boss fight, I'm gonna be upset. Nope, that was phase 1.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well.
I'm getting like evil Kiana vibes. Oh, I like her already.
I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another.
You're the original Hydro Archon.
What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals.
Would take the all-devouring pet.
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sertologi.
Sertologi, I just said it.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir, then? Or Gold Rhine-Daughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhine-Daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-Daughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Gold Visionary.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro
really?
energies will
It
prove
seemed like it had
difficult for
a
the
bit more
planet's deep
punch
seas
to
to
go.
digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
There's little bit to say about Paimon.
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Oh shit.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
So an entire nation. Yeah, but they've been forgiven. They haven't been washed away.
Help! Over here!
Because it was the curse that would make them turn into hydro water creatures. So they all survived. She's weeping on her throne, but they're not dead. So the prophecy might have been fulfilled, but no one mentioned that that was the end.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry!
Hey, lend a hand!
And these are all the puzzle pieces we were seeing from the very start. While they couldn't stop the flooding, and they couldn't stop the flooding, they could save, they could just deal with the aftermath.
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
That's cute. No, technically the prophecy was right. It just forgot to mention the final part. And Farina is technically the Archon that saved everyone.
The prophecy was wrong.
I am shocked there is not more damage. Like, yeah, the place is flooded, but it looks like it just kind of like gently flooded up and then gently flooded back down. You would have expected a flood to kind of be like, oh yeah, destroyed, massive waves crashing in. We only saw like the end part where Farina was completely upset that she failed. But it just goes to show in storytelling, when something's the end, it's not necessarily the end. That's why games get like 1,000 sequels all the fucking time. Nope. Okay.
The soil renewed. The Spina di Rosula attacks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina di Rosula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it. Skyship Winglet, Booner Brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always
How
call
can
the
it be
first
overlooked if
researcher
it was a
mad,
hidden
but
gem?
few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow!
Amazing, I'd say.
Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
They might have been real big shots from the very start.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down.
Yeah, very.
The value for
I
these big
wish the
scoops
news
lies
would
in
do
their
that
inevitable
now.
follow-ups.
No,
We'll publish
if
further
there was a
reports and go into
disaster,
the
then
stories
you should
behind
have
those
more
people.
bad news.
Edwin's assistant,
Take you
Jurier,
down.
created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
The articles do make me curious how things will play out.
I'm curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Wow,
this time will
she
be
is
different.
thirsty
Come
to
on,
do.
let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
So does that mean we're better tomorrow? Finale. I am not walking all that way, and we are not doing dailies quite yet. So we are going to finish the story. And then if the game would decide to load. Yeah, I'm glad the game gave me a bit of mercy with how much health I need to take out. Because without a healer, I'm not getting anywhere. Which means I have to kind of make, not Farina. Yeah, Farina, I have to make her stronger.
Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too.
I like how the Fatui
Let me introduce you.
aren't
This is
our
Mr.
enemies at
Garud
the
Snezhevich.
present moment.
He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That
Like
will have
they
to
could
be
have,
enough.
they could have abandoned everything.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats.
Aww. That's weird
But
that
if
you
you
like a
don't mind,
particular article.
Could you not
couldn't name the
emphasize our role
articles
too
one wrote.
much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as Despina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep
But
it as
it
simple
shows
as
that
possible.
The Fatui
Would you be willing to
aren't
feature as
heartless.
friendly neighbors?
Usually, it depends on the person in charge.
That would be fine. Thanks.
Like, in Mondstadt,
You're back too.
you had...
How
Oh,
are
I
things?
forgot her name. Oh
We
no.
finished laying down the
Forgot her
construction
name, the one I
materials.
really liked.
It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clorian?
But first of all, Chlorine,
Well, her
holy shit, her
reputation's
shirt
greatly
is
risen after
tight.
that whole duel
You can see the
business with
button
Miss Farina.
struggling.
So she's here in Poisson to wait out
Second
the
of all,
heat.
what was I gonna say?
all right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider
what
in
was
the
her name? The
reconstruction
first
of
one.
Poisson.
First one,
Despina has
the
need
Flame
of more
Witch.
decision makers.
She had
And,
a hatred of venting.
I do
So,
already happen to be connected
you
to
know,
Mr. Callis.
So she just really wanted
just a
Venti
moment.
dead. Because she thinks that Mondstadt
You know
was
about
betrayed
how
by
you
Venti.
felt before the duel.
She didn't do
about
anything
what it was like
bad
facing
to
down a
Mondstadt,
god. There's
per
lots of
se.
exciting material there, I bet.
But she wasn't exactly
Forget it.
nice either.
I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I
in
see you're the same as
Liyue,
always.
it
Couldn't
was...
you do me a favor for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things
I
for my
forget
sake,
who was
you
the
might
enemy
as well just
in
take a few more
Liyue.
photos of me.
Or I think it was Child.
It's
I think
better
it was
than
Child,
wasting time
and
persuading Chlorand at any rate.
I think it
course I will.
was
I'm
her
not gonna let
again,
her off
who
that
was just
easy.
doing deceit.
All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
And then Inazuma, she deceived and then died, so that happened. Oh, how nice.
Was it a good shot? Did
Then Sumeru,
Not bad.
not
Your
the
addition really
Fatui
helped the
didn't
composition
really
of the
have
picture.
much to do
All right,
in
hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more
Sumeru.
shots.
The only reference was the Doctor. I think they might have like funded some research,
I'll be
but
back here later anyway, so
I can't say if that's good or bad. And now they're in a kind of neutral
You're very
good
quick.
light. Like
Speed
they
is
are
of the
people.
essence when it
The
comes to
fact
the
that you can
news,
see
and
a face
freshness
of
is
the
the key.
Fatui shows
Also,
that
not
they're
to brag, but
humanizing
I'm
them.
pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually
Because
get that interview with
when
you
you
after
hide
all,
someone's
Miss
face,
Clarend.
you're basically
Wow,
dehumanizing
you
the person
really
because
do
you're
have
removing that
that
one
never
thing that
say
they have.
die spirit.
With
I'm
a face,
impressed.
you're humanizing them.
I'll
It's
hazard
why
a guess
in like
that this is how you
games
got
you have
that
like
interview
human
at the
enemies,
Fortress of
but they're like
Maripede.
the top part of their face is blanked out, or they're wearing a mask. It dehumanizes them
Whoa, you're
because
well
it makes it
informed.
easier to go,
Let me
right,
make a
I don't
guess, too.
recognize you as a human,
I asked
so I'm going
Sichuan,
to
who
fight
told
you.
Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridsley will make a personal appearance.
You're
And
right.
stop sending him
I've
love
gotta
letters.
treasure
He's
every
not
moment
into
I
you.
have with
Seriously.
them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now.
The more I joke about it, the
Tell
more
me
I
if you
actually
hear
do think
anything
she's
interesting. I'll treat you to
beyond
afternoon tea in
thirsty.
exchange.
Christ. We need to go to the Fortress of Maripede, which is 1,000 units away. I do like how it highlights things. It just makes it so much greater. I need to explore more of Fontaine, but you know, little time, little time. Go. And we landed.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Wanna go back
Looks
to
like
bed?
you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor
Please stop
to
sending
finally
me date
meet the
letters,
much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Alright. So... these
no
two
need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos
right,
we need.
they're the secret lovebirds. Finding their lovebirds.
Miss
That's
Charlotte,
right.
do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
Oh, they're
It
absolutely
would seem that
mandatory.
Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier,
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on.
Ooh.
The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back
We'll
there,
call it
like an
the
emissary
Ark
of
of the
legend.
Covenant. Wait.
Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
Again, blooming, trying
You already
everything
know
she
my
can
answer,
do.
I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my
I love
hair
it.
messed up?
I love it so
Please,
much.
Someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen this kind of thing before. Oh, seems like
Will they,
everyone's
won't they?
here.
Are they a thing?
Would
Are they
any
not
of
a
you
thing?
like to try
Are they
this
just
new
playing hard to
drink
get,
I came
or
up
do
with?
they really hate each other?
Ah,
Find out
Seaweed.
next time in They Finally Kiss.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse? Sure. Come on, Miss Siegeween, over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Oh.
Sure. Do I have to smile?
Yes, do the freaky BB smile. That's what everyone wants.
Same old, as you can see.
Wow, that had a
Fontaine's
really
undergone
long
some changes, but
time between.
This place is still more or less the same.
You know,
Other than that
appearing
flying
and
ship,
solving.
it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier? Miss Lurvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight
You
to
should
you
have
two.
your day in the sun. Not that you actually want that. Yeah, actually want that.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties.
Miss Charlotte
As to what Miss
clearly
Farina's
has a thing
departure
for
will
you.
mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Nice.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe.
Oh no.
Who knows?
I just realized he has
Story about
cat ears.
the underwater factory next time. Until then.
Like, I literally just noticed his head has like little tufts of hair that look like
Last
ears.
stop, the docks.
Like, oh, okay, maybe, like, at this angle, it looks like cat ears. From this angle, it looks like cat ears. But it's not cat ears. Oh wow, the game is... I understand this is like the finale scene where you're just kind of going to everyone and getting everyone's opinions. But, wow, they are just chugging. Oh. You want me to do that? No, 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 no. I can't pet the dog, no! Okay, so what I'm going to do... I'm going to replace Venti with Farina.
Witness my magnificent!
I recall, I think, if I do this right, I can do a dive. The issue is I have to basically... No! No, you can't, no, fudge. I'll do it over here. Because I think you have to be really close to the water before it does it. No! Is it? That's weird. It should have done that. Oh, Lenny, flirting. The only character in yellow. Only distinctive of a character.
How did you know?
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you.
Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
Nope, don't even bother.
You could just
Don't
make a friend
even
like
give it a
Fremine
thought.
here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends.
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
You sure are working hard to help Fremine socialize.
What's working?
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
He'd be the great
I was
vanisher.
planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll
Probably
work
not.
out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather
Time for
perceptive.
the vanishing act again.
She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler?
That's all you had to
Father
say.
says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's alright. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervillet opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her
Hello.
as a diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes.
Again,
I was quite surprised at first myself.
We've seen them
But when I
get
thought it
notices.
over, there were actually a number of things going for it. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Well, that's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
One was given away in a trade.
would
One
agree,
was literally beaten
but
out of
I've
an
also
Archon's hand.
heard that
One was literally given away by
seems
the
that
Archon's
Monsieur Nervillet has
attendant because,
significant
you know,
change of heart matter.
you were about to die.
So there's some reason for this that only Nervillet knows about?
And
I suspect
Chimera
you'll
was
have to
literally
ask
given
him about
away
that
as a
yourself.
trade.
Ah, yes,
Gnosis
speaking
for
of which,
literally
I
you
did
cannot
see him
keep
strolling
reviving
around the
yourself.
entrance to the Fortress of Meripede a while back.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent
Emotional
disaster
wounds, I'm
really
sure.
did a number on his health.
He also, yeah, he was fighting like a demon for like over a week actually. Well, I guess I can now call him one of my war buddies.
When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Well, it's not even switching.
Father!
Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them.
Are you going to take the note?
That is our duty as harbingers. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
I'm going to predict that they're doing this to defeat the Heavenly Principles, because the Archons must have some sort of penalty. So what I'm going to get is that the Gnosises are what are keeping them in sort of slave. So if the Heavenly Principles are like, you dare stand defy me, snap, Gnosis activate, I'm going to effing kill you. So I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to play the whole, oh, these things of power are actually like a golden handcuff. So it's like, you get all this incredible power, but you don't have a choice.
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever?
I also
As for
want
you,
her as
I
a
very much look forward to our
playable
next
character.
collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Actually, I just remembered something.
A vision?
Please help us to lift this.
All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire
Again,
time.
she could kill you right here, because you are technically the enemy. But you are fine.
That's
Yeah,
not
she could
pretty.
just ignore you or whatnot.
You're...
But she's being pretty
Greetings,
civil,
Miss
so I
Journalist.
think it's going to be a case of...
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic
Yes.
channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
The Fatui aren't the bad
That
guys,
is
it was just a few
correct.
bad operators.
So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all. This'll be more than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. So many things have happened, but the pockets are still the pockets. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
And remember, at first, we were kind of hostile towards Lily and Lynette when we first discovered they were Fatui. And now we're just sort of... Eh? Okay, they're not evil. I just want to do this once before. Come on. Come on. Oh! I'm in the wrong water! Whoops! I was swimming out to sea, thinking, ah yes, I'm gonna do dolphin jumps. Nope. Nope, that was not what was gonna happen. That was like, not even close. I said, how far do I have to swim out? Or maybe swimming in was the first thing I should have done. Whoops. Doggy! Pigeons! What? How did I... Oh, right! Because... No, I didn't fully charge it that time, so how did I do that? God, this is going to take a while. Traveler, this is your final boss fight. Prepare to die. I'll check that later.
So, you really are here, Neuvillette. I didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the...
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
See, the Archon, killed herself so that I could forgive everyone.
Whoa. So that's what happened?
I only saw
Fossilor
Farina's part
destroyed
myself.
the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontainians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontainians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. So long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Fossilor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
You can see that it was at that moment the Fontainians were finally truly...
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Fossilor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away.
That's right.
I will tell you the truth as I know it.
About the initial verdict that was passed on Shield.
I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Fossilor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Fossilor had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontainians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Oh.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way, seems like this ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as
In
a
other
local
words,
custom.
an Oceanid,
Ask
when
away.
he prayed,
I will tell you the
would
truth
give
as I
birth
know
to
it.
water. Or real humans, not, Oceanids. Fontaine's future. We know about Gnosis.
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House. I related Fossilor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then
500
packed her
years.
things and moved out of the Opera House, not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Fossilor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've yours as the Hydro Dragon?
Genshin, would you like
After
to calm down a
Fossilor
bit?
passed
Jesus.
on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person.
So,
additionally,
this
the Hydro
means that
Archon's departure
technically
has brought about another
we
problem,
got
which is that the Opera
the
House shall
leader
no longer
of the
produce
nation
indemnitium.
before we got
That power was derived from the
the
people
final
speaking the
character,
Hydro
because
Archon, wasn't it?
Farina isn't the Archon, she's the faux Archon, and Nevulette is technically is the Hydro Sovereign.
As I am
So,
now, I have full
he's
command
the
of the
closest
new
we've
Lucia,
got to a
and it can serve as a complete
Archon.
substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
About the next stop on my
You
journey?
will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
Something
No,
like that.
I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity.
Is what I'm expecting.
Natlan is also the nation
Heavy
of war.
Scalies, Jesus.
War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I mean,
I
technically,
suggest that
we've
you
only
fully
killed
prepare
what?
yourself
No,
before going to
technically we've
Natlan.
killed 2.
In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
No, sis.
Oh, that's right. They say you've given it to the Knave as a diplomatic gift or something.
Leaving aside their intentionality, the 2 Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis.
True.
Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations. Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the Knave and as an
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know.
No more questions.
Hang on a sec. Paimon's still got a question about the Gnosis.
God damn it, Paimon.
When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
Bullshit.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you 2 back to the surface. It went something like this.
Peter, can you, like, just hang for a bit longer? Thank you.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nervalette?
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third Descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Huh.
The Gnosis.
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a Gnosis.
She's not exactly
Well, that
the
much
brightest.
is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her Gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity
she calls
to
it the
possess a
God's
different
curse.
sort of common sense.
So,
which is why there are so
I
many
am
problems in our
very
attempts to
confident
communicate with humans.
I am
Regardless,
right
you should
in
probably
what
get
I'm
rid of
assuming
objects
is
of misfortune
the
to prevent
role of
any
a Gnosis,
disasters from
where
befalling
we're trying to technically
to live in
save
itself
them,
is a
but
blessing.
they're not
But
to be
once a
saved in the
person
first place.
dies,
They're
the
designed as
bonds he
punishment
once
for
had with
gods.
this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts, and my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third Descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time?
No, I think
you believe we will
that's
meet again?
that's it. I think they're trying to
do.
take the Gnosis by force because
I have
there's
a
no other
disciple
way
of
to
my
do
own,
it.
don't I? He can be the messenger then.
Because I have a feeling that it's related to the old god. They must have some control over the heavenly principle, which the Gnosis are handed to the Archons, which then means that they're going to turn on people. So that means we
That's
technically
what she
freed
told me.
Venti,
Whether it would prove
Zhongli,
useful or not, I wanted to
Raiden,
pass that information on to you.
Nahida,
The remains of
and
the
technically
third
Farina.
Descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping
Which
it
is
here.
true. So, one, that the Gnosis are related to descendants, and two, that one who came before me is already
I
died.
guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third Descender.
Uh-oh.
I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Uh-oh.
Being able to use elemental powers.
So does that
without
mean
vision. That does sort of count
Aether
as
is
special
actually dead?
compatibility, right? No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third Descender and all.
No, I won't die so easily.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
True.
All right. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes.
Now for round
All
two.
of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
Can you understand the will of a god?
I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is
Now,
the final
if I
answer.
had to guess,
The water levels may sometimes tilt
okay, so
one
now
way
if
or
Gnosis
another,
are
but the
then
rain
are the
falls
remains of
fairly
the
upon all. And what ultimately
Descendants.
is the difference between the rains that fall upon
Does
all
that
of us?
just mean that's what... Is it just the Heavenly Principles trying to gain energy? So are they trying to get all of these... Oh, I don't know, it's a bit of a headache. Okay, and that's the end of the quest. We did it! Woo! I can actually do the dailies. Oh my god! Alright, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the stream and restart it with a brand new name, just to separate things.